It's now a week later. We've left Whitchurch and we've been heading back. We stayed a few nights at Wrenbury. In front of Laura Maisie is the gorgeous looking morning star of Paul and Anthony and Narrowboat Life Unlocked. Morning everyone, on a very wet and soggy winter's morning. We're currently backtracking now. We're heading back to Chester because unfortunately there are a few problems back at the house and I'm having problems with the live feed camera at the moment. A firmware update went through on the camera and it's deleted the streaming firmware for us to stream the camera up to YouTube, and unfortunately the manufacturer is not being helpful at all. So I'm just taking Smudge for a walk. It's drizzly rain and then we're going to start heading back to Wrenbury, and then I'm going to have to try and get some transport and get back to the house to sort the problems out at the house. It's the joys of having non-DIY savvy daughters, but there you go, it's not their fault. So I'm just walking Smudge back to the boat and then we're going to get underway. But it's a bit of a vloggers convention down here at the moment. We've got Paul and Anthony from Narrowboat Life Unlocked moored in front of us, and just behind them are Fran and Rich from Floating Our Boat. So we went out last night with Paul and Anthony and had a lovely meal in the local restaurant here at Grindley Brook, and then today we're going to start heading off. So enjoy the cruise. So here we are, almost back to AmyJo, and here's Laura Maisie, which is Fran and Rich's boat, Floating Our Boat, and just in front of them, all right, in front of Laura Maisie is the gorgeous looking morning star of Paul and Anthony and Narrowboat Life Unlocked. What a lovely boat. Eh? Love that colour. I think the boys are working, so I'll not disturb them. And bless her, there's good old AmyJo. Doing us proud, she is at the moment.
1 week later.
Everyone, it's now a week later. We've left Whitchurch and we've been heading back. We stayed a few nights at Wrenbury, and now Chris has had to go back to the bungalow because Joanne hasn't been too good. She's been in hospital, so Chris has gone to give us some support, and I've been single-handing the boat. I've left Wrenbury, I've gone down the Baddeley locks and the 2 Swanley locks single-handed, and excuse me, but young Smudge is pulling on his lead. Just taking him out for his walk, but what a difference a day makes. It was a lovely dry day yesterday, cold, but not much rain, and today it's absolutely miserable, really grey, overcast, and that's Burland you can see in the distance, and the back end of AmyJo there. I've been moored there since yesterday. The plan is I'm going to stay here for today. It's a bit out in the middle of nowhere, but the mooring's good. It's sheltered from this wind reasonably, and tomorrow I'm going to go through the bridge hole that you can see in the distance just, and that's where Mountbatten, the coal boat, is based, and I'm going to get some diesel and coal off them in the morning, and then I'm going to make my way to Hurlston and hopefully find a mooring somewhere down near Hurlston locks, because Chris is returning tomorrow evening. Amy, the oldest girl, is bringing her home after Amy finishes work, of course. So it'll be late in the evening. Excuse the camera shake. The ground here is a bit gloopy, as you can see, and I'm slipping a little bit. So forgive the camera shake. Yeah, so Chris will be back tomorrow, and then Saturday we'll drop back down onto the Shroppie and make our way to Tattenhall, because on Tuesday we're jumping in the car and we're going to see our good friends Tony and Jan from Making New Memories. Now they're in Thorn near, I think it's Sheffield or Doncaster, and we're going to go and stay with them for a couple of days. That'd be nice. We haven't seen them since we left them at Fradley Junction, although we've been in touch constantly, so it would be nice to meet up with them again and catch up on all the goss, as it were. So I'm going to cut you loose. This ground, as you can see now, it's getting a little bit slippery, and Smudgy's snuffling in the ground. I don't know what he's finding, but I'm trying to keep him off it. So I've just dropped his lead in the mud. Come here. Oh, nice. Gonna have to give that a rinse out now when I get back. So sorry for all the camera shaking around and what have you, but there we are. That's where we're up to today. The next morning, with Chris back on board, it was time to set off again, and first port of call this time was the water point at the top of Hurlstone Locks. With a full tank of water, the next in line was to descend the Hurlstone Locks. We didn't record the descent of all the locks here at Hurlstone because you saw us ascending the locks in previous vlogs. There are 4 locks in the Hurlstone flight in all, and they drop you down 34 feet 3 inches onto the Shropshire Union Canal.
That's why I wanted to check with you.
That evening we were treated to a spectacular sunset with bright orange skies for at least half an hour. Next morning we made our way up through Bunbury locks and the 4 locks at Tilston, Stone, Iron and Walton's lock, and moved into Tattenhall Marina. For Smudge, the homecoming is especially poignant as he grew up here as a puppy and has many happy memories playing with our neighbour who owned a black and white Dalmatian called Albert. The two of them were inseparable. Sadly, Albert is no longer with us, but Smudge still looks out for him. The boat that Albert used to live on is directly in front of the entrance here, and Sheila hasn't replaced Albert with another dog yet, but Smudge still looks out for him.
You will need that one because you escape. You're an escape artist. The joys. Oh, your foot. Lift your foot. He's coming off.
Had enough, mate.
The lead was round his back paw, so I was a bit wary. Come on, little boat. Let's tie you up here somewhere. Oops, I didn't want that to go back a bit. That's better.
After a brief stop on the fuelling arm to book in and to find out where we needed to moor, we discovered that the visitor moorings alongside us were all taken. So the management asked us to moor on E-jetty, which was behind us, so we had to turn the boat round. But as we pulled onto the mooring, we realised that the mooring we were going on was actually the mooring we overwintered on the year that we both got COVID. Well, there you go, folks. Sorry if the video this week seems a little bit downbeat, but as you saw in the clips there, we had a bit of a worrying time. Joanne phoned up and said that the up and over garage door had fallen off. And then a few days later, she phoned up and said one of the curtain rails had fallen down. And worst of all, she started to get severe pains. And ended up, as I said on the clip, she ended up in hospital and Chris had to dash home. So that really curtailed our journey up the Llangollen Canal. We decided that there was no point going on.
So we just got to Whitchurch and then just turned round, didn't we, and come back
That was
again?
it, yeah. So after that, we came back down, as you saw, back down the Llangollen and headed back up the Shroppy to our home marina, didn't we?
Yeah, we went into Tattenhall for for a week because we'd made arrangements to go and see Tony and Jan on Making New Memories.
And they were out in Sheffield, so it was a 2-hour drive either way. And we had great fun with that, didn't we, as well?
Oh, yes. That wasn't without its problems, was it?
Yeah, on the way back, we nearly set fire to the car because one of the brakes was binding unbeknown to us. I couldn't feel it when I'm driving. But when we stopped, there was smoke pouring out the wheel arch and the brake disc was glowing bright orange.
Fortunately, we have got breakdown cover and they towed us back home to the bungalow anyway.
So we got all that sorted out. So we had that going on as well.
Yeah. While we were in the marina, we also had Amtrim come and visit to fit our new cratch cover.
Oh yes, I don't know if you've noticed in the later videos that we've got a new lighter cratch cover on the front of AmyJo. Because it's superb quality. It wasn't cheap, I will say that, but the quality of the cratch cover, I can't fault it. From start to finish, from us phoning them to them fitting the cratch cover was only 6 weeks. They came, they measured up, and he was only here half a day measuring up. And within 4 weeks of him measuring up, he was fitting the cratch. So
yeah, they used some of the original holes, didn't they? Because that's the third cratch cover we've had on AmyJo. We don't want three sets of holes.
Yeah, so I asked them not to drill any more holes. They done 1 or 2 more.
Yeah,
but that was that. So then once that was applied, we then decided that we'd go off. We escaped and we ended up spending Christmas at Christleton by the Costa Coffee, didn't we?
Yeah, that was nice, actually.
That was really nice because it was just the 2 of us, wasn't it?
Yes, had a lovely, quiet Christmas. We did go and see the girls on Boxing Day, which was nice. But with 3 dogs, it's quite a performance because they don't all get on with each other. And
because now Amy's being married with her fella and Joanne's got a new fella as well, it's starting to get a little bit too much for Chris. And she normally, excuse the table wobbling, she normally ends up cooking the Christmas dinner and then they all disappear off to work.
No, I left them to it this year. Amy actually made the Christmas dinner, I think, for them, which was nice.
That was nice, yes.
She needs to learn how to cook.
And then after Christmas, we took ourselves off down into Chester. And as you know, we've been backwards and forwards into Chester now for God knows how many times. So this was the last time. And while we were there, we saw a short on YouTube of our boat. It was AmyJo and a lady saying that they'd been to visit.
Waving in front of the camera, wasn't she?
She was waving in front of the live feed and all the rest of it on this short. So
I revisited narrowboat bloggers, Steve, Chris and of course Smudge on 67-foot long AmyJo. I really enjoyed their live stream while they've been docked in Chester. They leave tomorrow morning. Go check them out live on board AmyJo.com.
she contacted us and long story short, she came and visited us on the next day with her daughter. So thank you for that, Linda. We really appreciate that. But Linda's claim to fame is she is one of the founder members of Loose Ladies. Now, I don't know if anybody knows Loose Ladies. They did appear on D Radio for a while. And Linda discusses all sorts of things about, you know, bargains in shops, mental health, you name it. And Linda covers those topics with her partner. Another lady whose name escapes me, but they are known as Loose Ladies.
On Facebook,
you can find them on Facebook as well. So thank you, Linda, for that. I forget the name of your daughter.
I think it was
I do apologise for that. So that was nice.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and then we cruised back to guess where? Tattenhall. For New Year, and Chris's brother and his wife Catherine came up and spent a few days with us,
Yes.
and as a whole family, so that's us, the two girls, their partners, Chris's brother Alan and his wife, we all went out for a meal.
New Year's Day, actually.
New Year's Day, actually, we got it.
Down
yes.
to Hickory's, which is a smokehouse.
Down-
Lovely place by the River
Down by
Dee,
the river.
isn't it?
Yeah, if you're ever in
Yeah.
Chester, I can recommend that place. It's Hickory's, it's called, and it's absolutely
Yeah.
superb food. So we did that, and then after that, we actually got frozen in.
Well, you realised the weather was getting a
Yeah,
bit
and we
bad, so you said, I
Well,
prefer
well,
to be frozen in the marina.
yeah, and it's just as well we were,
Yeah.
because then, as you know, in the UK we had the two storms, Isha and Jocelyn come through.
Yeah.
So we stayed another week while those two passed through. So glad we did, because some areas had it pretty hard,
Yes.
as you know. So, and that's it. That's us now, up to date. At the moment, we've been cruising since then, which the next few vlogs will bring you up to
Yes.
date on that. And our intention is that we were going to go back to Tattenhall for one last time, because as we've mentioned before, we're going to be doing the Boat Life UK show in Birmingham and the NEC, and we're there for the weekend. I think it's 14th, 15th and 16th.
15th to 18th.
Oh, 15th to the
Thursday
18th,
to
that's
the
it.
Sunday, yeah.
So we will be there. If you're thinking of going, do look us up.
Yes.
We'd love to meet you there.
Quite a few people going that we know, and obviously you know.
And Tony and Jan from Making New Memories, Amy and Wes from Boat Life, or Boat Time, is it?
Boat Time.
Boat Time, yeah.
David Johns.
And David Johns from Cruising the Cup. They're all going to be there. I think it's on a Saturday mostly.
Yes.
And we will be there as well. So we look forward to seeing you if you are going. But I think we've waffled on long enough now, don't you? I think we should...
just one last thing we had, wasn't it? Was the live feed camera kept mucking us about. So hopefully we've had to buy a new one. Hopefully that is sorted out now.
Yeah, it seems to be working okay. It's not as nice, it's not as good as the other camera. But the manufacturers of the other camera decided to do a new firmware update and omitted to put in the streaming software to allow us to use it to YouTube. And they won't speak to me. They don't deal with customers. They'll only deal with wholesalers.
Yeah.
So we cut our losses with that, and we went with a different manufacturer, and that seems to be working okay now.
It's okay during the day. It's not quite as good picture at night, but
at least it's there.
It's there.
And our regular faithfuls on the live feed are quite happy that we're back, because they really missed us. So thank you for that, guys. We appreciate that. In actual fact, I'm going to have to say our live feed channel, which is live on board with a V, live on board AmyJo, is now more popular than our vlogs. Now that's saying something, isn't it? So there you go. So anyway, enough waffling. I think we've been on long enough.
Yes, we have.
Just very quickly, for those of you that want to know, Joanne made a full recovery.
Yes, she's fine.
She spent a few days in hospital. They've sorted her out, and she's absolutely fine now. But thank you for your concern on that one. And we'll see you next time on Life on Board AmyJo. Stay safe. Bye.